Conversation. And this is your host, Yolanda Mahayeng. And today I have a beautiful guest. And before that, let me just thank everyone who subscribed on the previous one, from the previous one actually, because I think we are on 110. And thank you very much for your sharing and subscribing and sharing your comments, because your comments does something to us, and sometimes it's beautiful to hear your response and how you're feeling, how you're doing in your healing, in your restoration, and if you are still stuck in that pain, so these videos are just for you to release your pain, to share, how are we dealing with our pains, because we are broken people. Others, they're already healed, so we want to share the stories of the journey of healing so that you can take some points of whatever that you feel, what, that I'm taking it with me, and I'm holding on to, because it's all about helping each other, supporting each other, and loving each other. So today I have a beautiful lady here. She will introduce herself and briefly about herself, but yeah.
Okay, hi guys. I am Nomusa Nomusa Skenjana. I was born and bred from Botsoro.
Yes, the Eastern Cape girl.
Yes, I am. I would like to tell you that Masba Kuduman,
Yes, my girl.
I met her in 17. We met 2016, I think.
2016.
Yeah,
And
it was...
how was I?
I've always thought you have a good heart, so that's what I saw. 2016, and we've kept in contact since then.
And because you're a sweet person.
Right back at you.
Yes, thank you. And you are from Etsolo.
Yes.
And how many siblings do you have?
We're a family of 8. I've got 5 older brothers and 2 little sisters.
You're the middle one.
I'm the Mafungwash.
Wow.
Technically, I'm their big sister.
Because I'm the last born.
You see?
Yes, I'm the last one, so yeah.
You don't relate, it's fine.
But you know what? I think the beautiful thing is, Mama, I never experienced the last born thing, because Mama loved us equally.
Well, for me, recently we were raised the same way, like being called the favoritism and everything. For example, I learned how to clean myself, how to cook and everything. My brothers taught me. Brothers, they were scrubbing the floors. It was, they still cook. And today, if we are home, everybody's at home.
So there's nothing they need to go and cook.
Yes,
the guys must be at the lounge and do nothing.
Not a kai.
That's beautiful.
My brothers now are married. Most of them, they've got their own kids. They tend to their own kids. It's beautiful to watch. I think it comes from my dad. Because of health reasons. So we would go to school, come back, and the house is clean.
That's your dad?
My dad. The house is clean. He's cooked.
Wow.
I remember when I had my first period, I told my dad. I didn't know what was happening, but I told him, and he knew what to do.
Wow.
Because he told me, go take a bath there and come back. I'll sort you out. And he did.
Okay.
But he didn't give me the talk. He told my mother what happened, and then I had the talk with my mom. But he was the first person, was first contact.
And your mom, how is the relationship and everything? What happened when you were younger? Mama Pangela, how was the bond as 8 kids?
The age difference between me, the firstborn, is 13 years older than me, so go put basically.
I'm with that.
Go put. So with my mom, guys, my mother's baby. We grew up strong. We knew that you come back from school, it's cleaning time if dad is not around. You know what to do. And then on Fridays was we enjoyed Fridays because it was a washing day for everyone. So we'd come back from school, take out the laundry, all of us, my sisters, my mom, and my brothers. So we'd sit under a very big tree at home, when we'd sing while we're doing our laundry. And then I love reading. It's something that I picked up from my mom as well. She would, instead of us going out and playing, she'd actually sit us down. She'd take books, read for us.
Wow.
She'd read, and then, because Tenamas messing aside is long, guys, growing up. Knowing Islam was a privilege. But my mom would actually take books, she'd read out, and then explain what's going on. So that's where I picked up reading. I love reading, I love writing as well. You know. So it also helped with how you speak as well, because you gain much confidence as you read, as you write. With homeworks as well, I remember she would let you go and do your homework, come back, and you guys discuss it. And she'd actually show you your mistakes, and you go back and redo it again. So by the time you go to school, you got it covered.
So your mother's like a teacher?
She was a teacher, a grade 1 teacher.
Is it? So she was a teacher?
She was.
Oh.
She was a teacher.
I know most of our mothers were all nurses.
Mama was a grade 1 teacher.
Wow. No wonder she was reading a lot of things to you guys. And I mean, the relationship goes stronger because you had that bonding session where you guys sit down and then she reads things to you guys. And now the bond between you and your siblings.
It's beautiful, yes. Of course, siblings quarrel a lot. The one sibling I used to fight with was the brother that
because you are the last born from the brothers, but you're the first born
of the girls.
The girls.
Yes. So we would fight. I remember this one time, you have to say put.
Okay.
He's 3 years older than I am. So we've got another brother. Because there's another brother of us, the third born. He doesn't say put. You are going to start there. You have to say puti there, and then I'll say puti myself. But right now we are very close. He's actually taken now that our parents are not with us anymore, he's taken upon himself to actually look out for the girls.
Responsible.
Yes, he always says, whenever you need something, if you want to talk, we're here. But he's a brother. There's things you can't talk to your brothers about.
But that's love.
Yeah, I know.
That's love.
I know. I do appreciate them a lot. They're very they're overprotective, borderline. Yeah, they're borderline over there. But I do appreciate it. I understand why they do it.
And then how did you guys what happened to your mom? Now that you're saying that now that your parents are gone. So what happened?
Oh, my mom slipped and she fell. I think what balancing is on. It happened, I think, on a Thursday. Because she was here for my sister's graduation with us. She went home.
And everything was fine.
Yeah, she went home. She got home on a Thursday. uthi ke she fell and she forgot about it.
Mm.
So on a Saturday, she says, "Hey guys, ingalo yami ibuhlungu. I don't know what's happening. Ndibuze ba, khanguwe mama." Azothi yo ndilibele, I fell. Ndabhalansa ngesandla. Then ke my brothers organized somebody bamthatha bamsemont because my brothers are based in East London. So they took her to East London. Benza i-scan, x-rays. And it turned out that une-fracture apha esandleni.
It's been how long?
It was Thursday. Bamjonga Saturday, I think. So it was after 2 days. Kwathiwa une-fracture and we were like, okay, usuzomfaka isamente. Our sister-in-law is a doctor, so wamfaka isamente. Ungabi nanto. Ndimfowunele on Sunday. I call my mom. Athi mama, ndigqiba sele iipilisi zentlungu. Let's talk tomorrow. Okay. I call again. No, I think it was on a Monday when I called at sele iipilisi zentlungu. Because none of mama I'd call ekuseni before I went to back then I was working late shifts, so I started work at 12. So I'd wake up call before ndiye emsebenzini. Around about 12. Say phone kwakhona ba. Hayi imini iphelile.
You haven't said anything.
Intombi. Call me Nqabile, yabo? So I called her again the following day, ekuseni on Monday. Oh no. The following day I called again to check uba wenzeka because kaloku asikathethi. Ifowuni kamama yaphendula ibhala yam on Tuesday morning. Athi kum, Nona, because that's what they call me in Kenya. Nona, I'll call you back. Sumama esibhedlela. Oh no. Nisumama njani esibhedlela? Fine. Ndilungise kuba ndizoya emsebenzini. My brother calls me 30 minutes later at athi mom say I see you cry.
Okay.
She can't breathe on herself. On her own. I don't understand. Sifike njani up. Yeah. But he's gonna call me back. 30 minutes later he calls and says she didn't make it. And that was it. So to answer your question, Umama, and we think, but we still don't know what happened.
Yeah.
The only thing that makes sense is saying it was her time.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't do long bones. Because that's what we were telling people. Long bones. Because I can't that made sense. She didn't have any clots in the brain. There was nothing wrong with her brain as well. Even her death certificate says natural causes. So really we don't know what happened. Besides the fact that it was a time.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah.
Medically speaking, nothing makes sense.
Yeah. So how did you guys take it as a family? I mean, it was a sudden death.
Oh, it was so sudden. Literally. That's ingqondo yami yasebenza. Couldn't think. In my mind, the only thing that was happening, I wanted to go home.
Because you wanted to see her yourself, so that you can see.
I wanted to go home. Because I called when I was told that, Mom said, I see you. I called work and I told them, I'm not coming in, I'm going home. My mom said, I see you. Then I had to call them 30 minutes later that she didn't make it. Then there weren't flights from Cape Town to East London. So I booked a flight to Joburg.
By mistake?
No, I wanted a connecting flight to East London.
So you took a Cape Town to Johannesburg and then from Johannesburg to East London because there was nothing from Cape Town to East London.
Yeah, that's what I was planning to do. I didn't check times because the flight in from Cape Town to Joburg. Yeah, if you got later than the flight has to get Joburg to East London.
So how were you gonna get another flight now from Johannesburg to East
It
London?
didn't make any sense when I was doing it. I think it was out of shock. But luckily they gave me my money back.
Okay.
So we booked flights. The following day we went home.
Mm.
We got to East London, our brothers fetched us, and then we went home.
Mm.
That first week, I think that 2 weeks to Sekaya, we were preparing for the funeral. It was a state of numbness, basically, because you'd wake up. I'd make sure, in fact, that I got so tired so that
you can sleep.
Yeah. That first 2 weeks. Throughout the 2 weeks, the extensive preparations. Excuse me. The only thing I prayed for was that I could sing Kolafina. We had a love of music. The whole family, in fact, we are a family of music. So if the corner sang, it's singing J. So and my only prayer was that I have strength to sing for my mom. Anyway, I'll deal with it after. Now, what my mom did, every policy that so I had to go and knock in every door because the brother would go, but was still in the house.
So you had to be strong.
I wasn't strong. I always say this to my friends: if and so in best I try so because that time I'd get into the road, cars would stop for me. I was absent-minded. But it happened. And then the funeral happened and then and I was left alone with my thoughts.
Sure.
Everything. Life had to drastically change. I have a daughter. My sister has a daughter as well. So the kids were staying with my mom. And here I was sharing with somebody else in Davishla. So we had to look for Inda. And luckily my roommate wanted to move out. So we ended up taking the place I was staying with. So it wasn't a problem. But dealing with the grief.
Sure.
I remember I'd go to work, come back. I'd cry every day. It was an everyday thing. Sometimes I didn't want to wake up. It was, I couldn't, goodness me, I was angry. At first it was pain like no other. I honest to God don't know how I survived those days. The only thing I could focus on was work. Everything else, I don't know how I did it. And then from feeling like that, I got angry.
Okay.
I got angry at mom for agreeing to leave us.
Without even saying a thing.
Sana, decided but I'm leaving. And then I was angry at God. I was angry at God for allowing something like that to happen. Because I believe umama no had their own covenant. What about us? Because I had just started working. Things were looking out for us. You have these dreams, these hopes, things we want to do for our parents. And then Sana Lamfaz, what decided that time, if we are in phone, who am I supposed to pray to? But strangely enough, I knew that the two people that I had to be angry at was my mom and God, not any other person.
Yeah.
You know? And that time, my own, Nangatandaz, I won't lie, I just woke up.
Did you it?
Aye, son. But the one thing I did say to God was that you are going to wait for me. Undifake kule into endikuyo. I am feeling like this. You are going to wait for me. I'm not gonna do anything else. Uyazi uba bekutheni uzuyenza ibe hlobo. But son, uzongilinda nje ndikwazi uthandaza. That's how I felt. I ignored my own feelings after that. I'd worry about my sisters. There was a time my little sister would actually abengathi uzoba ne-stroke, sisters. Inhliziyo yakhe ibethe. I was so scared. I've never been that scared because in my mind I kept saying, should anything happen, I'd never survive it. So as I'm feelings, there's that and put them aside.
Because you wanted to deal with your sister and make sure that your sister is okay.
And the kids as well. It wasn't just me. Abantwana were traumatized. Upa would wake up crying at
And mind you that you were not even staying with her.
No, okay. I remember I went to school. This one day they had grandparents' day. I had to go to school. My guys, the kids can't come because they're not there yet. So please excuse them. And from it's a process too. It's a process because even now they're only starting to open up now, and it's been over 3 years. For me, I think one of the reasons I had to face my own feelings and deal with my grief, it was partly because of my daughter. I'd stopped going to church. I'd stopped praying. Namtana Sana would wake up at Mama's standards.
Wow. Wow.
Yo.
So your healing journey is actually was led by your daughter.
It was as if my mom was speaking to that child. I told her, Mama, we haven't gone to church in such a long time. Let's go to church. If it felt like somebody was squashing it every time she said something like that, I felt like, hey, I am dying a very slow, painful death inside. How do you then say to a child, no, we can't pray? I had to, but I didn't mean it. I was doing it for the child. Yeah, I was doing it for the child. I think I took it seriously when I had blackouts. I'd have a blackout driving. I'd have panic attacks. Because sometimes I'd forget that my mom's not around. I don't know how the mind. I think when you don't want to do something, the mind creates places in your mind. So that's what happened to me. So this one day, I was coming from work. So what we usually do, Mom, and video call. So I'm gonna video call my mom. And then it registered that no, man, I cannot do it. I don't know what happened. The last thing I remember is me remembering that I cannot call my mom. The next thing I knew, I was on the side of the road. Cars stopped. Anything else I don't remember. That's when I decided that no, man, I needed to seek help. So I went and inquired about shrinks. I went to see a psychologist. Even then, I just get there and get up. Get there, minutes, cry, get up and go. Oh, then I started talking. And then they made me realize that everything I was feeling was warranted. You know, there is no right or wrong way to grieve.
Yeah.
You know, it is understanding that whatever you're feeling, you should be feeling. You know, I got wrong. It's okay to feel the way that you're feeling. You know, you must remember to just be kinder to yourself. Because for me, I'd feel that way and then feel guilty for feeling that way. I'd have these feelings and then cry about it. Afterwards, I'd feel guilty that in a way I am still holding my mom back. Because as much as we still wanted to have her around, she did everything any parent could do for their child. I mean, there's 8 of us. All of us went to school. Right now, all of us are working.
Yeah.
Well, she did really well as a parent. But she needed to go and rest as well. Well. But you understand that, ne? Logically, it makes sense. The heart doesn't understand that. It doesn't. It wants what it wants, and that is more.
Sure.
It's been 3 years, almost 3 years now. But there's still days, there's still days where you wake up, like you get a compliment at work, for example. And naturally, the first person you'd want to share that is your mother. And it registers by age. I cannot. And it hurts. It still does. It still hurts like it did.
So when you started the seeking help, so what is it what were you doing on your side to help yourself? Because I mean, you would go there, right, and cry, and up until to a point that you started talking. But now, what happens when you go home?
I go on with my life. Like I do the things that I'm supposed to do in my everyday life. It's only now that I'm actually taking better care of myself.
Yeah.
It really didn't matter how I felt, so long as the people around me were okay.
Yeah.
And you know, it didn't just take away from with grief, my friends would tell you I didn't talk to anyone.
Yeah.
And because of it, I think it's something that I'm still going through. I am so scared of relationships, be it romantically, be it is friendships, family as well.
Yeah.
I tend to keep people at a distance because in my mind, I understand that whenever you lose a person, you're going to feel all sorts of things. But I keep people at a distance because the feeling of permanent loss, I would rather watch you over there and you not talk to me knowing that you are there than actually losing you permanently to death.
Because I think you fear losing another person again.
I think I'm still suffering from trauma.
Okay.
That's the only thing that makes sense. It's
Sure.
I love people. I love knowing that people, I care about people. I love knowing that people are okay. But it's taking them and bringing them in. When I think about it, I think if I could lose this person, if something like this, it's caring for a person to a point where when you lose them, you lose a part of yourself.
Yeah.
That is what I'm scared of.
Okay.
I understand that it's not how I should be living my life, but it's something I'm working on. At least I did sort of realize it's something that I need to work on.
Yeah.
It's a journey.
That's a very important part because the minute you realize your weaknesses or what you need to look at, something that you need to take care of. That's the beginning of your healing, you know. Because now you know the area that you need to look at, you work on. So it's really beautiful journey, because now you tend to know each and every step that you're taking. So tell me now, ke ngoku, then you when how did you realize now that, you know what, right now I'm moving forward, or maybe I've released my mom?
So, one of the things I'm still struggling with is going home.
Okay.
It is still a very sore subject for me. It's still, whenever I think about going home, I swear, because I am better 100 times. Because, it feels like since I spent it is that cold. Because, well, I'm still not used to not having my mom around the sleep.
Then you can sleep.
And then you wake up and you leave.
Okay.
That's how I feel. So when one of the things, when I started praying again, because I went back to praying.
Thank God for your daughter. Thank you, Pam, for leading your mom to a journey of healing.
So the pain was too much to bear. So I started praying again. I'd say, I don't want to feel like this anymore. This is too much. Yeah, but those are the kind of prayers I'd have. And then
being vulnerable to God.
Yay. Because I'd cry to a point, and it was too much. I couldn't. At the same time, I didn't want the kids to see me like that. I had to be strong for the kids. So I started praying again. I had conversations with the men upstairs. So one of the prayers that I'd have was to get to a point where I can actually release my mom. I'd even talk to her. Please be patient with me. Because I'm not ready to release you yet. Because is not there yet. It's not there yet. It started getting better when I got to a point where I can say, Pumla mam.
Yo, man.
Pumla masan. And Gango, when I said, finally, when I was finally able to say the words, even the good memories came back. Because
that's healing right there.
Because before that, I didn't. Even the mention of my mom would actually cause a panic attack. I didn't want anybody asking me about my mom.
Like, for real.
So that's when the good memories. Now I sit and even when I'm cooking right now, I think my mom would make this dish and I try and attempt it. Yeah, well, now we can sit at home and talk about my mom and it not be awkward. Yeah, and also I think I made peace with the fact that is not something that you get over. Yeah, well, I got to understand, and I'm okay with the fact that there's gonna be days where I feel like that I need a phone call from my mom, and it's okay to say, that's my man for me. Yeah. At the same time, she needs to rest.
And today you are here and you're talking about
it. She needs to rest. And actually, now that I'm talking about it, I say because every time I talk about it, every time I talk about it,
okay.
And also, yes, one of the things that has happened now, it is that I am more compassionate. I think I realize pain from another person. I see it because I know it. So I can relate to people, even if you don't say anything, just knowing that the other person is not alone. there's another person who understands your pain.
Mm.
Yeah. So I try and lend a hand to people going through the same thing I went through.
Because 2020 was a very tough year. I feel like a lot of people lost relatives, they lost parents, you know, a sudden death, you know, where they even didn't have a chance to see them, you know, even be at the funeral, you know, they were not allowed to open the casket, you know, and there's someone who's still struggling. Would you maybe have a message for that person?
You know, grief is a funny thing. There isn't really anything you can say to a person who's going through grief. But they need you to be physically there. They need people, they need to be surrounded by people that are going to, because for me, I'd say you guys were, even though I was going through what I was going through, you were there anyways. I pushed you guys away, but you kept coming back. You need people like that in your life when you're going through grief. People abazokunyanzela ngothando kungalifuni.
Yeah, because at that point in time, you don't want to see
you don't
anyone.
Want,
you don't want.
You want to be in a dark room, and just alone and feel sorry. You feel everything that you want to feel in peace. But those people, you get to appreciate the people that kept coming to open that door, even if you didn't want them to open it. You know, I have the people to open that door. But those people, when you go through your healing, you appreciate them because they kept you from the. Because I remember I was in the brink of depression myself. I felt myself going there, but because of the people that kept coming to say, let's go out for tea. Today I'm taking care of the kids. You know, those people, they did me, I don't know. And then it went back to, I got to understand God's grace.
Wow.
You know, because even though I was mad, He was there always. He didn't go. Because at some point, I was saying, I don't even feel it. Guys, but He was there. You look back and everything that has happened. Yeah, but He has never left.
But that was the conversation that we had. I think I called you. It was early morning. And I just had this thing that I missed you, you know, and I thought, you know what, let me just call her. Because I was scared. Because remember the last time we spoke,
I wasn't okay.
You were not okay. Because I remember as we were talking, I think someone called you and you switched off the phone. I was like, oh, I don't know what to say. so I thought, you know what, that would be so rude for me to not to call again. But we spoke again, but you were so busy. But then I'm thinking, I wonder how you're feeling right now, you know? So when I called you, actually I was crossing my fingers. So I was so happy to hear you saying everything that you were saying. And I felt like Ingatindim that is going through grief now. And you were strengthening me, you know? For some reason, you know, sometimes you tend to, because I think it was after I lost my dad, yes. And I was like, wow. I thought I'm calling you to check up on you, but actually you were talking to me, you know. So I loved it, and the way you were so confident. I felt the love that you loved yourself. You made a decision that you know what, now I need to put myself first. And putting myself first now, I need to also think that I have a daughter that is looking at me, you know, that is learning from me. Because sometimes kids, we don't have to say things to them. They learn by seeing what you do.
They do what you do.
They do what you do. So I was so happy and I was filled with joy. I remember that morning, like
I still remember it too.
and that day, I just had this vision seeing your mom smiling, and I was like, oh no, they're so beautiful.
Yeah, and now I can actually remember smile. There was the time, when you are going through Cliff Moss, there's stages. there's stages.
Levels.
There's stages, man. There was this time that it felt like I was forgetting my mom's voice. Guys, you because I kept searching my mind. Where is it? How can I forget it? Jonge phone, old videos are in my mother's voice. I thought nothing. You guys, but I slept. I slept on it again. I think because Upa uhleli nomama ne. So she had this bond with my mom. She'd wake up and say, "Umakhulu uthi mama, she's always be there. She'll never leave you."
God is just using her. Oh wow, you have a blessed daughter.
I know. I look at her and say, I did right here.
Your mom did right there. Your mom did right there. Because everything happens for a reason. There was a reason why she had to stay with your mom for the longest time, and now she was ready, to be a child.
And looking back, I'd worry that
Spoiler.
no, not spoiler, man. I felt like mom has done a lot.
Okay.
Because you and it's not just us. Mama abantwana bakhulisileyo. No, abantwana be-brothers zikatata umama bakhulisile nabo. Uyabo. So I felt umama mdala, so udinga ukuphuma. So athi umama, "Hey, lo mntwana." There's nothing I appreciate. There's nothing I appreciate more than actually allowing her to take umntana ngelaa xesha wayemfuna.
So that at least she have time with her, to know her.
I look at my daughter now, yours, and I'm like, there's things that the way she addresses people, the way she carries herself. She's only 7, but she's such a lady, guys. And I can't take the credit. I can never take the credit.
And I'm sure you're even learning from her.
She calls me to order that one.
That's beautiful.
So now it's still a process. I won't lie. There's still things that I'm still working on. Yeah, but there is, I can safely say with time, really. Yes, people tell you that with time, now I want to say with time you learn to live with your pain, because it never really goes away. You learn to live with the pain.
Sure.
Within you, and then you know how to deal with it. It's okay to break down and cry, because I still do that. I still have days where I come back from work and I'm so emotional, and it's little things, triggers, such small things. A colleague of mine recently got married. Isn't a business along one week. And I thought back, what happens when I get married? To who am I going to speak to? Jay isn't just that you'd look at Ukonde. But really, if it and it causes Jay something within you. But overall, I think I'm okay. Or at least I'm gonna be
okay. And that is my prayer, that you receive your full healing, and you find peace in everything that happens around you, so that you can be a mother that God wants you to be, you know, and to give your daughter the love that she deserves, you know, without robbing yourself and robbing her in that journey, you know, and to find your purpose, to find your purpose through the pain, because sometimes pain brings purpose. Yeah. So yeah, with all that, thank you so much for having the conversation with me.
Thank you for
Sharing your
having
heart. Thank you so very much, and I hope that this conversation will do something. You know, will bring healing and restoration, and will also make you realize that it's okay to feel the pain. It's okay. And she just mentioned that it comes and go.
Yeah.
It comes and goes. So
something
it's
you
a
can-
matter of, I always say that it's all about how you respond. You know, how you respond. It's what determines how where you are with your healing. And I believe that the fact that you can just share with us without crying, but it doesn't, even if you cried, it doesn't mean that you are not in your journey of healing, you know. But there's hope.
There is.
There's hope.
I'm
And
positive
I
about
see the faith that you have. And I see your smile. You're smiling.
It feels really good to smile again because wow, I haven't been in such a long time. It felt like a lifetime ago. It feels good to laugh, and actually I was saying it feels good to be happy. You know, to say to a person I'm okay and actually mean it. It's beautiful.
I love that.
That's beautiful.
I love that. So thank you so much, guys. And I pray that whoever that is also going through the same journey, that you find your healing, that you find that thing that you can hold on to, that will bring peace and comfort to whatever that you're going through. And may God be with you. May God reveal himself through this journey, and until you stand up with your you know, and know that, you know what, I'm still me. Because I believe that we should never allow our pain to determine our identity. You know, that our identity should remain in Christ at all times, you know. And yeah, with all that, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share this, because I believe that there's someone out there who needs to hear this, that is going through this, you know. Yes. Please share your comment and push that button and like. And I love you so much.
Hi guys.